People assume I always had a clear roadmap when it came to building things for a living. The truth is much less glamorous. What started as a small hobby weekend repairs, experimental builds, and late-night tinkering slowly evolved into a full-time career, but not because I planned it. It grew because I treated every small project like a prototype for a larger future. And that shift in mindset changed everything. I used to build things purely for fun. A small table here, a wall-mounted rack there. Nothing serious. But there was a pattern I didn't recognize at the time. Every project made me better, faster, more confident, and more consistent. At some point, a friend asked me to build something for them. Then another. Then someone offered to pay. That was the moment I realized my hobby wasn't just a pastime. It was quietly developing into a capability with market value. The early transition was messy. I had zero systems, no pricing structure, and no concept of what professional quality meant beyond my personal standards. But I also knew that if I wanted this to become more than a fun weekend activity, I had to stop treating it casually. So I started documenting everything: materials, hours, effort, mistakes, and the final outcome. That simple act gave me visibility into what the work actually required. It also helped me price correctly instead of guessing or undervaluing myself. Another turning point was upgrading my tools. In the beginning, I operated with a scattered mix of cheap gear and inherited tools that barely functioned. They got the job done, but they slowed me down and introduced limitations I didn't even know I had. Once I made my first real investment in quality tools, my speed doubled and the finish on my work improved overnight. Suddenly, projects that used to take a full weekend were taking half the time, and clients noticed the difference. When your equipment stops holding you back, your confidence scales up fast. But the real pivot came from learning to say yes to challenges I hadn't done before. Every new request pushed me into new territory: bigger builds, custom pieces, complex installations. I was nervous, but I treated each project like R&D. If I didn't know something, I learned it. If a technique felt intimidating, I practiced it until it became natural. I stopped being a hobbyist the moment I started seeking discomfort instead of avoiding it. That's when growth accelerated. Of course, turning a hobby into a career isn't just about building. It's also about brand perception. I realized early that people don't buy what you make, they buy how you present it. So I started capturing my work professionally. Clean photos, clear progress shots, before and after comparisons. I showcased the craft the same way a high-end builder would, even if I wasn't there yet. And that strategy positioned me ahead of where my experience actually was. Perception drives demand. Demand builds backlog. Backlog creates career momentum. Networking played a massive role too. Most of my early clients weren't from advertising. They were referrals. One satisfied customer became 3. A well-built piece in someone's home sparked conversations. I didn't need viral content, I needed consistent execution. When your work speaks clearly, you don't have to. People promote what impresses them, and that organic attention is more powerful than any paid campaign. There was a point where I had to make the leap, stay in my regular job or commit fully to the build career. It wasn't easy. Stability is tempting. A paycheck feels safe. But I realized that growth requires risk tolerance. I waited until my side projects consistently covered my living expenses for several months, and then I made the switch. I didn't jump blindly. I transitioned with strategy. And that's why the move worked. Once I went full-time, the pressure increased, but so did the rewards. I streamlined my workflow, standardized processes, built client templates, refined communication, and operationalized every stage of the work. I wasn't just building anymore. I was running a business. And that mindset shift is what separated me from hobbyists. Hobbyists create, professionals deliver. Looking back, the path wasn't defined by one big moment. It was thousands of small decisions: taking projects seriously, investing in the right tools, leveling up skills, building a portfolio, pricing intelligently, and choosing courage over comfort. Turning a hobby into a full-time career isn't magic. It's consistency with intention. And if you're sitting on a hobby you're good at, here's the blunt truth. You don't need permission, you don't need perfect timing, and you don't need a master plan. You need momentum. Start treating your craft like it matters. Show your work publicly. Take on paid projects, even if they scare you. Upgrade your process. And once you see traction, scale the commitment. That's how I did it, one build at a time. One improvement at a time. One bold decision at a time. And if you want to walk the same path, I can help you map it out. Just tell me what direction you want next.